What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. So I was on Twitter scrolling on Obama, Beyonce, whoever's internet, right? For the day. Very demure, very mindful. And I come across Marlon Wayans getting into it with DJ Vlad. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking, I thought that we got DJ Vlad out of here months ago when he got into it with Morgan Jerkins, who was the niece of Rodney Jerkins, Dark Child, the really popular producer. I made a whole video about it. But basically, he was coming for her, talking to her crazy. And then when he found out that she was the niece of Dark Child, of Rodney Jerkins, then he tried to backpedal. And a lot of people were talking about canceling DJ Vlad back then. Like I hadn't heard anybody going on his podcast since then, right? And Morgan, she is a professor in her own right. She's put out some really controversial material, pretty dicey in regards to colorism, but that's another story for another day. She apologized for that, but I said all that to say people recognize their power dynamics and how they play out. So, speaking of power dynamics, Marlon, he got into an intense back and forth with DJ Vlad today over Twitter in regards to the price that was supposed to be paid for his interview on Vlad TV, which is his platform. So earlier this week, Vlad released part of the interview with comedian Aries Spears, which again, another person I thought the folks had got out of here. But, as much as I try to stay in the loop, I guess I'll just be out of it. So that revealed that Marlon had asked for $40,000 and 30% of all future revenue for him to show up to the Vlad TV interview. The video made its rounds, and one person said that Wayans wasn't asking for a lot of money and that they would have charged a lot more. And so Marlon replies on Twitter, he says, quote, "See, I tried to tell him I was giving him a deal, but oh well." So Vlad shot back and said that no one would pay Marlon for that price based on the views that he gets for the interviews, which are usually between the $100,000 to $300,000 range. See, and that's the thing, right? Like on one hand, people complain about DJ Vlad being a culture vulture, but if he's getting 100 to 300K exploiting our culture, then he's not going to stop doing it. Like I don't understand why Marlon, with all the brothers and sisters, right? Like shout out to Kim and his whole entire family. Somebody, Sean or somebody, because I know that they're the closest, not only in age, but just in their relationship as brothers, that they wouldn't say, you know what, this dude is he's not really about us. You know what I mean? Like he's not good for the culture. He's not good for someone of your stature to be on his platform. I was disappointed even hearing that Marlon was considering going on Vlad TV. I wouldn't care if it was for 400K, right? You don't want to tarnish your brand or your family's brand like that. So Marlon Wayans found someone with 200 followers. This is what Vlad is saying on Twitter. Marlon Wayans found someone with 200 followers to agree with him, laugh out loud. He tweeted this. "Nobody on earth is going to pay Marlon 40K for an interview when he gets 100 to 300,000 views on any platform that he interviews on. This guy is really delusional." So then Marlon writes back and says, "You mad? You unprofessional, my guy. If you don't like the number, keep it moving. You look bad. You should fall back. Mad at a black man stating his number, and now you go public and use your platform to try to drag me. I never in my life dealt with this silly negotiating tactic." So, they're going back and forth. Listen, I checked it like half an hour ago and all the tweets are still up there. Vlad is saying if Jimmy Kimmel paid Marlon $40,000 for the interview, he would have had a $39,500 loss. And it's just like, this dude is, in my opinion, he's just not worth people's time. I don't understand why they keep giving him a platform. I really don't. He is so disrespectful. Vlad claims that he wasn't mad at all and just restated his point that he didn't think that Marlon was worth the $40,000 price tag. According to Vlad, it has nothing to do with Marlon being black and has everything to do with how much interest there is in the comedian. I mean, of course he's going to say that, right? And as far as interest in the comedian, Marlon is still, I think he just put out a stand-up special about Chris Rock and the slap with Will Smith, but just his vantage point for all of that and how like he used to really enjoy Jada. But I think it was on Netflix. Like he's still pulling numbers. The Wayans family is comedic legends. They're icons. you know? And so for Vlad to be in this urban media space, in my opinion, he should be a little bit more respectful. But again, that's my opinion. That's not somebody that I would give the time of day to. And I really wish that a lot of our, whether it's comedians, entertainers, period, would just pay him dust and let those views and all that dry up so that he wouldn't have a leg to stand on. Like, stop giving him oxygen. He goes on to say, throwing out a stupid number for an interview is unprofessional because your interviews don't make 5% of that on every platform that you do. And bringing up race when there is no mention of it throughout all our discussion shows how weak of a man you really are. Black continues to drag Marlon in his interactions with the fans who supported his claim that $40,000 was way too high. He went on to say the Vlad TV interviews with over 100 million views only cost him about $5,000 and claimed, okay, I already talked about the Jimmy Kimmel. Um, However, Marlon returned hours later to let know that Vlad did cross the line of disrespect and bring up the age-old claim that Vlad is a culture vulture and trying to profit off of Black people. He says, quote, "You've been teetering on disrespect and I've been a gentleman up until this point. That was tactless, unprofessional, and petty. You out here trying to tear down a king. You trying to instigate beef within my community and peers, and it won't happen, fella. I'm loved. I'm worth whatever I say. People like you don't make or break me, champ. I'm self-made. I go where I choose. I don't like your tactics. I've been a gentleman. I didn't express my grievances with other people. You trying to turn other black men in my field on me, asking them about my money." And then Vlad shoots back and says, "Yeah, so this has become about race. You're trying to turn us into crabs in a barrel. I see your angle now. I watched you play your hand. You want to talk ish, beef, and tear each other down while you sit back and make money. Meanwhile, you don't even show your face." Well, that was what Marlon said, which is true. And he compared his beard to Ice Spice. Ice Spice's hair on her behind. Martin Lawrence weighed in too. Martin Lawrence tweeted, he's like, "Who is Vlad? Who is DJ Vlad?" But then he deleted his tweet. And I guess that's what Marlon was talking about, where he was trying to turn the black men in his comedic field and the field of entertainment on him. Listen, here's my deal, right? Marlon, I really wish that you, Sean, Damon, Keenan, whoever in your family, you guys start your own podcast, start your own YouTube channel. You're absolutely right. You're self-made, you know. Keenan Ivory Wayans with In Living Color was huge back then. And, Damon has done amazing things. You and Sean have done amazing things with not only your show, but movies, right? White Chicks, Scary Movie series, all kind of stuff. Like, you guys are comedic geniuses. There's no way that you should be trying to go on someone else's platform when you could absolutely start your own. You guys have been doing it for decades. So I'm confused as to why you would even give him the time of day. Like, people like DJ Vlad, who are disrespectful to, not only Morgan, but to the Wayans family. Like, y'all need to pay him dust. I'm sorry. We're in a day and age now where people can choose not, who they deal with and who they don't. So you're absolutely right, and I really would love if you and your brothers, or Kim, or your nieces and nephews. I mean, your family is so wide known. You guys can start your own platform, and then garner your own views and clicks, right? But anyway, you guys, let me know your thoughts. I will link this article, and it actually has screenshots of all the tweets that they were sending each other back and forth. But yeah, Marlon, you're right. And you know what? You're worth a lot more than $40,000. So, and you've made that. You know what I mean? Like 40,000 over. That was, I'm sure, the money that he made back when he was um, on In Living Color with his family. But since then, I mean, you guys have done movies and shows, and who else? Like, no, just pay him dust and start your own thing. That's what I'd like to see. Well, let me know your thoughts, guys. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about Vlad and Marlon going back and forth. I'll talk with you in the next one. Take care, Aces. Bye.